This is a music channel, and this feels like a weirdly controversial take, but I do think music and getting better at music is the most important thing you can do for your music career. But it is not the only factor when it comes to getting work and building a business around music, which I've been able to do, and doing this for a long period of time, making music and having people listen to it. So I've been thinking a lot lately as I get these questions about how to get your music heard today, about what are the things that are non-musical skills, not directly related to the music, that have helped me the most over the years. Communication is vital in any profession because pretty much to get paid for things, you have to work with other people and have relationships with those people. And the only way, as far as I can tell, to develop relationships is to be able to communicate with them and find common ground. But you can also get better at communicating with yourself. In other words, learning to express your own ideas. And for me, that has looked a lot like just writing them down. In the last couple of years, I've spent a lot of time just learning how to articulate my own ideas on music. If you've been around this channel for a while, that probably comes as no surprise. And as I've gotten better at this skill, opportunities have started to present themselves that I would have never had a chance to even know existed before. And this is really what's allowed me to build that business that I talked about before of being able to teach other people, you, the things that I've been doing and have learned through my years of experience. But if I couldn't articulate them well, it really wouldn't matter how much knowledge I have. So to push back on that statement that someone's going to leave in the comments, those who can't do teach, I would say those who can do both have infinitely more opportunities available to them. And you can't teach people something if you don't fully understand it. At least they're going to see through it if you don't really know what you're talking about. It's a pretty clear, direct correlation how this would help a YouTube channel, right? But I've been really shocked and surprised about how this has helped me collaborate with other artists and directors and people who I work with. Because if you're working with someone else on a creative endeavor and you can't articulate your own ideas and you can't interpret their ideas, then it's going to be really difficult to build a relationship with that person that will allow you to create a piece of art that is as effective as it could be. You have to have a relationship built on clear communication to make great quality work. And just like anything else, communication does improve with practice. And for me, writing down my thoughts on the things that I care about the most has been really invaluable. There are two pains in life, the pain of discipline and the pain of disappointment. If you can handle the pain of discipline, you'll never have to deal with the pain of disappointment. Former Alabama head coach Nick Saban, roll tide. If you do something that you love to do, you're already kind of lucky. And if you can keep doing that, even past the point where you get that resistance, like when I was a piano student, I started at age 8 and everything was pretty easy because I was kind of naturally gifted and took to it. But then as things got more difficult around age 12 or 13, and I started running into repertoire that required me to practice more, I didn't want to do it. And I think it's kind of a natural thing for all of us. If you can push past that point, that's where you start to see the compounding returns of whatever you're pursuing. So you will get results if you can push through that initial pain barrier that exists in any discipline. And those results will vary from person to person depending on a number of factors that are beyond our control. But those results also compound the longer you do it. Over the past decade or so that I've been releasing music and trying to get it out into the world, there have been a lot of peaks and valleys in terms of how I feel things are going. And a lot of times when I have been really discouraged and I've thought, well, this just is not going to work out for me. Anytime I get in that mindset, I like to ask myself one question, and it's what can I do about it right now that is within my control? Projects fall through, the label decides to pass on you at the last moment, people flake out at the last moment, sometimes we don't get that job that we thought we were going to land. All of these things have happened in my career, but we always have the option to give ourselves an assignment rather than wait around for some kind of big break. I've mentioned this kind of thing before and gotten the response, well, giving yourself an assignment doesn't pay the bills. not at first. And until you can persist and get to the point where it does, you may have to work another job. Like, no one is ordained that you can make a living from music right away. That's never been the case. There's a reason I've been a church organist for the past 15 years, and it's not because that's exactly what I want to do. It's because I needed some way to support myself and eventually my family while I get the things I actually want to do off the ground. My elbow just popped, in case you were curious if I was old enough to actually have any experience. So after nearly a decade of elbow popping and releasing music on my own and giving myself assignments and trying to improve with each one, this has done 3 things simultaneously that have all helped me. Built my skills in terms of production and mixing and composition, so I'm hopefully getting better at making music. It builds a body of work, which also serves as proof. When I do get opportunities now, it's usually from people finding my existing body of work and saying, we like what this guy's doing, maybe he could do that kind of thing for us. It also serves as proof that you can complete a project, which is important when you actually have someone else's project in your hands. If you've never completed anything, you might not be as ready for that as you think you are. It also gives my opinion weight when I talk about this kind of stuff on a YouTube video, or when I talk about specific musical things that I actually use. I've actually done these things. So rather than chasing online clout, I'm just sharing the things that I've done in real life. Empathy is about trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes and see things through their perspective. It's also a vital skill to have in the kind of relationship building communication I talked about at the beginning of this video. Just attempting to understand someone else's point of view will separate you from the crowd on the internet. I don't know if you've noticed, maybe poke through the comments of any number of my videos or anyone else's videos, and you'll see that a good portion of people are a lot more concerned with just being right than understanding other people's perspective. So be kind to other people, but don't be nice. To me, being kind implies empathy, but being nice implies appeasement. So if your goal is to tell people things that you know they'll agree with, or things that they want to hear and you know that, you're really providing no value to anyone, and no one actually ends up caring. I think this also applies to music itself. If you write music to please and appease everyone, you kind of end up writing music for no one. Personally, I would far rather write music that a few people hate and a few people really love than music that everyone feels kind of okay about, or that everyone ignores completely, which is the most likely scenario if that's the route you choose to go. This also applies when working with collaborators. Be kind, be considerate of the fact that it's their passion project too, and they care deeply about it. But if you have a strong conviction about something or an idea that you think will make the project better, learn how to articulate it in a kind way and speak up. And if the end goal for both of you is not ego-driven and it's just to make the project better, they will appreciate you for doing that, rather than just being a yes man. Be kind, not nice. If you'd like to learn more about how I personally put music together, what this channel is mostly about, I just made a free PDF ebook on harmony, which may seem strangely specific, but actually impacts every single thing that we do as composers. So I think it's kind of an important topic. And these are the concepts that I feel have helped me the most throughout the years in making my own music. So it's yours if you want it in the description below. Oh, and here are a bunch of videos about composition and music and stuff.